Mark wasn't supposed to stop. His old car coughed and rattled every time he slowed down, and gas money was already a luxury he couldn't afford. He was a single father of two, barely keeping things together after his wife passed away 3 years earlier. Every decision he made had to be measured in groceries, school supplies, and the quiet fear of what would happen if the car finally died for good. But as he drove past the bus stop, the image of that woman stayed with him, pressing on his mind like a weight he couldn't shake. His days were already heavy. Mornings started before sunrise, packing lunches with hands that still remembered how his wife used to do it better. He worked long hours at a warehouse, lifting boxes that left his back aching, then rushed home to help with homework, cook dinner, and pretend he wasn't exhausted. Some nights, after the kids fell asleep, he sat alone in the dark living room, listening to the hum of the fridge, wondering how long he could keep pretending he had everything under control. Life hadn't been kind to him, but it had taught him something valuable, what it felt like to be abandoned by circumstances you never chose. That was why he turned the car around. When he pulled up near the bus stop, the rain had slowed to a mist, but the cold had settled deep. The woman didn't look up at first. She was wrapped in a thin coat, hair damp and clinging to her face, her eyes fixed on the road as if hoping something would magically appear. Mark rolled down the window, his heart pounding with uncertainty. He wasn't a hero. He was just a tired man with too much responsibility and too little room for mistakes. Still, he asked if she was all right, if she needed help. She looked at him then, and the emptiness in her expression nearly broke him. She explained, haltingly, that the bus she was supposed to take never came. Her phone was dead. The friend she was traveling to see had stopped answering. She had been waiting for hours, convinced that eventually someone would notice, but the city had moved on around her. Her name was Elena, and she had just left a life that no longer felt safe, with nowhere certain to land. Mark hesitated. Every warning bell rang in his head. He had children at home. He couldn't afford risks. But he also couldn't ignore the fact that leaving her there felt like abandoning a version of himself from years ago, standing alone after the funeral, unsure how to survive the next day. He offered her a ride somewhere warm, somewhere safe for the night. Not forever. Just enough to get out of the cold. Elena climbed into the car with quiet gratitude, holding her suitcase like it might disappear if she let go. The drive was silent, broken only by the sound of tires on wet asphalt. Mark's thoughts raced. He wondered if he was doing the right thing, if kindness would cost him more than he could afford. But as he glanced at her reflection in the rearview mirror, he saw not danger, but exhaustion and fear layered so deep they had become numb. His home was modest, a small house that creaked with age, filled with mismatched furniture and the lingering scent of laundry detergent. The kids were already asleep, their backpacks lined up by the door for morning. Mark made some tea, offered her a blanket, and explained that she could stay on the couch just for the night. Elena nodded, tears welling but never falling, as if she had already used up her supply of crying somewhere far away. That night, Mark barely slept. He lay in bed staring at the ceiling, listening for any sound from the living room, wondering what tomorrow would bring. He questioned himself over and over. Was he reckless, or was he simply human? By morning, exhaustion had replaced fear, and life resumed its relentless pace. The kids woke up, curious but polite, sensing that something important was happening. Elena kept to herself, helping quietly where she could, her presence gentle, almost invisible. Days turned into a week. Elena found temporary work cleaning offices at night. Mark helped her charge her phone, update her resume, make calls that often ended in rejection. Slowly, her posture changed. She began to smile, small at first, then more freely. She cooked dinner one evening, filling the house with warmth that Mark hadn't felt in a long time. The kids laughed more. The house felt less like a place of survival and more like a place of living. But life doesn't allow kindness without testing it. One afternoon, Mark was called into his manager's office and told that hours were being cut. The warehouse was downsizing. He drove home in silence, the familiar dread settling in his stomach. That night, he sat at the kitchen table long after everyone else had gone to bed, bills spread out in front of him, the numbers refusing to make sense. He wondered if helping Elena had been a mistake, if he had taken on more than he could bear. Elena noticed. She always did. She sat across from him, hands folded, and thanked him for everything he had done. She told him she had saved enough to move on, that she didn't want to be a burden. Mark felt something twist painfully inside him. He hadn't helped her expecting anything in return, yet the thought of her leaving felt like losing something he didn't realize he needed. The night before she planned to go, the power went out during a storm. The house fell into darkness, lit only by candles. The kids huddled together, a little scared, and Elena told them stories from her childhood, her voice steady and soothing. Mark watched from the doorway, realizing how deeply she had become part of their fragile world. In that quiet moment, he understood that kindness wasn't about having enough to spare. It was about sharing what little you had, even when it scared you. The next morning, Elena left early, hugging the kids tightly, thanking Mark with words that felt too small for what he had done. The house felt emptier again, the silence louder. Mark returned to his routine, bracing himself for harder days ahead. Then, weeks later, something unexpected happened. Mark received a call from an unfamiliar number. It was Elena. Her voice was different now, stronger. She had found stable work through someone she met while cleaning offices. That person had heard her story and offered her a chance, then another. She was on her feet again. But that wasn't why she called. She told Mark that the company was looking for reliable workers and that she had recommended him. A few days later, he had an interview. A week after that, a better job with better hours and pay than he had ever imagined. Life didn't suddenly become perfect. There were still bills, still hard days, still moments of doubt. But something had shifted. Mark felt lighter, not because his problems disappeared, but because he learned he didn't have to face them alone. Kindness had come back to him in a way he never expected, multiplied and transformed. Months later, Mark drove past the same bus stop on a clear evening. The bench was empty, the streetlight steady. He pulled over for a moment, sitting quietly, remembering that rainy night. He realized that a single decision, made in a moment of compassion, had changed more than one life. It had reminded him who he was beneath the exhaustion and fear. It had shown his children what it meant to care for someone without expecting anything in return.